Hi, my name is Elizabeth Hoffman, and I'm the South Dakota Director for Emporia State University's School of Library and Information Management.
And hi, I'm David Willis, and I'm the Colorado Director for Emporia State University's School of Library and Information Management.
And hi, I'm Becca Cabasa, and I am the Idaho Regional Director for the Emporia State University School of Library and Information Management.
So I have to say, School of Library and Information Management is a really big mouthful, and we're going to be shortening that to SLIM today. And we're going to be talking about what steps students can take right now to help them find their dream job after they finish their MLS. It's never too early or too late to start thinking about your career goals. And we'd like to start with a few questions you can ask yourself to help focus your goals.
All right, and so one question might be, what type of library would you like to work in?
There are a lot of different types of libraries out there, and you need to think about which ones you're going to focus on when you start your job hunt. Public, academic, special, a large or small library, rural or urban. You can take coursework to help improve your knowledge in these areas and explore through professional organizations to find out more about different types of libraries. Exploring your interests while working on your degree will help you get prepared for the job market after completing your MLS.
All right, and another question you might consider is, are you planning to relocate or to commute?
So when you finish your degree, you may want to relocate to a new part of the country, or maybe you'd like to stay closer to home. You could want to live near a city or a national park, but what does near mean to you? How close do you want to be? Are you willing to commute? Is a 45-minute commute reasonable to you, or were you thinking 15 minutes would be a better fit?
And what are your financial obligations?
No one goes into librarianship for the money, but we all need to pay the bills. It's important to ask yourself if you're looking for a full-time or part-time position and what salary you'd like to make.
And then what steps can you take to help you reach your goals?
You may not be able to get your dream job right after you finish your MLS, but you can start taking steps toward achieving that goal. What types of jobs would you be willing to take to help you reach that long-term goal? If you'd like to be an administrator in a public library, you may want to work in a public library right away, even if that means taking a part-time position. If you're looking for a professional position after you finish, or would you be interested in taking a paraprofessional position until you become more familiar with the field? Next, David is going to tell us a little bit more about the steps you can take after you've answered these questions.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. So once you have figured out where and how you want to look for jobs, I'm going to talk a little bit about the places you might want to go online to start that actual job search and find job postings. So SLIM puts together a nationwide employment opportunities webpage that's compiled by our graduate assistants. The regional directors from around SLIM's different locations send job listings to the graduate assistants, and they post them on a page on our SLIM website, and that can be found at the top there of our slide. Next up, if you're looking to do a national job search, the ALA actually compiles their own job list, and it's joblist.ala.org. It's a fantastic tool to look for jobs throughout the country. I have found, for personal experience, that ALA job list can skew a little more toward academic jobs or leadership jobs, but that's not always the case. So keep that in mind if you use that. Next up, we have state library job boards. Quite frankly, I think that they are the most useful tool when it comes to looking for jobs in your area. And I say that because I did a quick little bit of research and compared job listings on the Colorado State Library Job Board, which is run by the Colorado State Library at libraryjobline.org, and compared those listings to listings I found in Indeed, on Indeed.com. And of the 15 listings on the Colorado State Library Job Board, only 13 of them were found on Indeed. And conversely, there were no additional jobs found on Indeed that weren't on the Colorado Library Job Board. So as fantastic as sites like Indeed and LinkedIn are to aggregate jobs from around the country and around your region, they don't get everything. And I wanted to make that point today so that even if you are using aggregator job sites like Indeed and LinkedIn, you definitely still want to go to your regional or state library job boards as well. Speaking of regional library job boards, we also have, I believe, half a dozen different regional library associations throughout the country, like Pacific Northwest Library Association or Mountain Plains Library Association, that are collectives of several different states in a particular region in the country. And those regional library job boards can be very helpful in finding jobs in your area and in neighboring states as well. So check those out. Next up, we have special library type jobs, and the overarching organization for special libraries is obviously the Special Libraries Association, which is an ALA offshoot. They do have their own job board that covers many different special library types. On top of that, we have several different special library associations devoted to a particular kind of special library. So for instance, Society of American Archivists, Medical Library Association, and the American Association of Law Libraries. These are some of the job board sites that I would recommend when conducting your job search and looking for those job postings that you want to apply to. In addition to those sites, I'd really like to suggest that you consider subscribing to your local state or regional library listservs. I, for one, am subscribed to the Colorado LibNet listserv, and it is a fantastic and very active listserv on all things library in the state of Colorado. In addition to finding advice and hearing announcements and getting discarded materials from other libraries that you might be able to use in your library, you can also find job listings the moment they go up on your library listservs within your state or region, because that's the first place that a lot of people post them. And then finally, networking. So the Colorado Association of Libraries has a new professionals committee. The Utah Association of Libraries has a new perspectives roundtable. And these are great places to go to begin networking with new colleagues, other new professionals, and getting your name and your experience out there. So with that, I will now pass it on to Rebecca Cabasa, and I think I'm going to ask her a few questions. So Rebecca's going to talk to us about what SLIM can do for you. And I'm going to ask you a few questions, Rebecca, as if I were a student. So how can I use my classwork to prepare for jobs?
So all SLIM students take classes based around library curriculum. And these classes prepare you for your future position in libraries. And I think it's important to think about the ways that you can be doing assignments that will help you explore different types of libraries and different types of jobs that you might be interested in. For example, a student here in Idaho did a project on working in juvenile detention centers, libraries and juvenile detention centers, for a community analysis class that she was taking. And that allowed her to prepare some material that she could apply in a job setting. And another option with that is to take the opportunity to visit libraries you're interested in, apply for internships that are in your interest areas, and explore the possibility of a practicum that will round out your experience in the job market.
Thank you. A lot of students might be asking themselves, why should I network?
Yeah. So one of the greatest parts about the SLIM program is the cohorts that you're already in. The cohort, many of you have chosen the cohort because you like the face-to-face connections and the personal connections. And that's the start of a networking of a network. And so networking and getting to know your cohort can help you figure out where you want to be in the library world. As you get farther into it, you might explore ways that you can connect with alumni. An alum might be working at a library that you're interested in working at, and you can contact them in order to find out what would be good to do to get a position there.
Thank you. So my next question is, why should I pay attention to SLIM jobs?
Yeah. So the reason to pay attention to SLIM jobs is that the posts that are on there usually come from regional directors or students who are forwarding them as things that they think that SLIM students would be qualified for, and it would be a good thing to look at. So sometimes it's helpful to just look through and see what sorts of things are on the jobs, what sort of requirements there might be, and then you might be looking through that and find a job that's not advertised other places.
That's a great point. So they've already kind of been filtered in a way that people think they're good fits for SLIM alumni. That's a very good point. Rebecca, how can my regional advisor help me?
All right, so another one of the things that I think is a strength of the SLIM program are the regional advisors in each location. These regional advisors are familiar with the local library community, so they can help you. Connecting with your regional advisor can give you the opportunity to ask questions about your areas and for them to help you come up with maybe things you haven't thought about conducting a job search, and maybe to make a plan for going for it. Meeting with students is my favorite part of the job.
Cool. And lastly, what is Emporia State Career Services? I hear there are some other options available to students that are outside of SLIM's purview.
Yeah, so Emporia State University Career Services provides on-campus and remote students and alumni. That's important. So even if you don't take advantage of any of these services when you're a student, you can go back in as an alum and then take advantage of the services. So, and they offer things like resume reviews, a membership to Handshake, where you can search for and apply for jobs, and then also career counseling. I was talking with a student this week who was expressing that several people have offered to read her resume, mentors in the library field. And she was saying that she was feeling stressed by the idea of sharing her resume with people who she knew personally, but she liked the idea of being able to share her resume with somebody who could be objective about it and who could help her kind of tailor in on her resume before she shared it with people in her network. So, and in a delightful manner, June Coleman from Career Services will be the person that we're interviewing next for this job series. So,
wonderful. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah. All right, I'd like to invite both David and Elizabeth to make any further comments about anything they'd like to.
Well, I have to say, I agree with Becca that one of my favorite parts of this job is getting the chance to work with students and help them find that great fit for a career. And I have a network that I work with in the area. I know a lot of librarians. And when there's a job opening at a library, I may be able to connect you with someone that you can find out more about the culture of that library or what the position includes. So a great resource is just to come back and ask.
Thanks, Elizabeth. As Rebecca mentioned, this is absolutely our favorite part of the job. To watch a student come into the program and go from point A to point B, to watch them start literally their first class weekend all the way to graduation and helping them land their first job is kind of what we live for. So we are always here to help in that regard. All of us regional directors have experience in our local areas and our larger regions. I've been in the Colorado library landscape since 2001. I know folks all over the state that I can put you in touch with to learn more about specific systems or districts or jobs or what have you. So please allow us to do that for you and take advantage of our resources, because we are here to help you every step of the way.